As the market for online courses becomes increasingly crowded, it's becoming harder to stand out. And with student expectations continuing to rise, it's also harder to maintain a profitable price point for an ordinary online course. Creators who want to sell courses online need good approaches to bucking these trends, and an important one to consider is offering an online masterclass. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of people are starting to stick masterclass into the titles of their courses or webinars. But in most cases, these are not true masterclasses. Even the courses at masterclass.com are not, in my opinion, really true masterclasses. In my book, for a course to truly be a masterclass, it has to have 5 elements. The first element of a true masterclass is that whoever is doing the teaching needs to have actually achieved mastery of the material that's taught. And that might sound obvious, but we all know there are plenty of people sticking masterclass into the title of their courses who aren't really masters at all. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have mastered the entire discipline you plan to teach. You might, for example, be an expert headline writer without having mastered the entire discipline of copywriting. Or you may know how to make the best chocolate chip cookie in the world without being much of a baker otherwise. The point is that you need to have truly mastered whatever the material is that you plan to cover in your masterclass. And it might actually take some reflection and some work to identify where you really have the most compelling knowledge and skills to share with your learners. Find your true, deep expertise and really showcase that in a masterclass. The second element of a true masterclass is that it covers a narrow topic, meaning it will usually focus in on a particular aspect of a discipline. So if you're Yo-Yo Ma teaching a masterclass, for example, you might focus in on tone rather than everything about how to play the cello. If you're Serena Williams teaching a tennis masterclass, you might focus on power serving rather than serving in general. In most cases, your students are already going to have a solid foundational knowledge of whatever discipline you're working in, and they're seeking either to fine-tune their knowledge or take it to more advanced levels. Your job is to help them with mastery of a specific area, and to do that, you pretty much have to limit the focus of what you teach. So pare down your content and bring only highly focused, highly valuable content to your masterclass. The third element of a true masterclass is that it nearly is always aimed at motivated, focused attendees, people who know the basics and are looking to go deeper or get a more specialized view of a topic. Someone who's interested in how to get the best tone out of a cello, for example, has probably already spent quite a lot of time learning and practicing, and they're ready to stretch themselves to learn more. You can, of course, offer courses that help people get up to speed quickly on the fundamentals of a discipline, but that would typically be a boot camp, not a masterclass. That's a great model too, and one I cover in other places, but it's not what we're talking about here. For your masterclass, you want to find experienced students who are really ready to take things to a higher level. The fourth element of a true masterclass is that it's time limited, and I mean that in 2 ways. First, because you will be focused on a very narrow topic, the time you need to cover your content is usually shorter than it might be for other offerings. It's true a masterclass might be spread over multiple sessions, but it's always time constrained, so you aren't selling an annual subscription or a membership or even a multi-week course in most cases. Then second, even if much or all of the material for the masterclass is recorded, you'll typically limit the time period over which your students will have access to it. Being able to access you and your content at any time can actually dampen student motivation, and you want to reinforce motivation and focus and do everything you can to get the full attention of your students. A masterclass should feel like something special that doesn't happen every day. The fifth element of a true masterclass is that it must provide opportunities for feedback. A masterclass is meant to help students advance toward mastery, and you really can't do that well without receiving feedback as you learn and practice. Masterclasses will typically provide the opportunity to interact directly with the instructor for feedback or with other experts who are capable of supporting and reinforcing the lead instructor's teachings. In the best cases, that tends to occur live in real time, whether that's online or off, but with careful planning, it can also happen through tools like discussion boards or graded assignments. True masterclasses often also provide the ability for learners, who after all tend to be pretty advanced themselves, to interact with and learn from each other, whether through live online sessions, discussion boards, or a messaging system like Slack. This kind of feedback does need to be carefully managed. After all, the other students, almost by definition, have not achieved mastery themselves, but done right, it can be a valuable component of a masterclass. In a true masterclass, your students feel like they're getting the attention and support needed to advance toward mastery. Really, a true masterclass should have all 5 of the elements covered here. By comparison, a standard course may lack 1 or more of them and still be perfectly fine for achieving whatever goals it was created to address. Delivering well on each of these 5 elements isn't easy, but that's part of what makes a true masterclass special. Put in the time to create masterclasses that really deliver on the 5 elements, and you'll create tremendous value, deliver high impact, and stand head and shoulders above the competitors in your market.